tutorial is going to cover downloading the IntelliJ IDE as well as setting up some basic preferences for IntelliJ once you have it downloaded. So I'm going to open up a Chrome browser and search IntelliJ download, and then go to the IntelliJ site. And once I'm here, I'm going to download the community version for the JVM and Android development for Mac OS. So download. And I don't want to get any tips about it. I'm just going to wait for my download to complete, and it's going to take a little bit. Okay, so now that it's downloaded completely, I'm going to click to open it, and it's going to load for me as it verifies. And now I'm just going to drag it into my applications. And now that that's done, I should be able to find it in my search. So I'm going to open it. And as it loads, I'm going to tell it to keep it in my dock, so it'll stay there for next time. And this is just asking me if I want to open it even though it's been downloaded from the web, and I'm going to say yes, so hit open. So now it's loading. And this is asking to where I want to import the settings from, and I don't want to import any settings right now, so I'm just going to say OK to get the defaults. And this is just the terms of service, so I've read it through it before, so I'm just going to scroll to the bottom and say accept. And I've decided that I don't want to send usage information, so I'm going to do don't send. You can do whatever you feel like is right for you. So I can pick between Dracula and Light for my color scheme. I like Dracula because I'm used to editing code with a dark scheme, so I'm going to do Dracula. And I'm going to go to key maps, and I'm going to do the this version with the Mac OS X key map because I have used IntelliJ before and I like this mapping before. So it just determines what the key shortcuts are. And I don't want to mess with this for the moment. This would be for creating a launcher script if I wanted to be able to launch IntelliJ through the command line. And I don't think I'm going to need any plugins right now. Plugins are extra things that you can add onto an IDE to make it look a little bit nicer or to do certain things for you, like work with Ant or Maven, which are things that can be used for web development. You can also add version control plugins if you want, and those will be covered in later tutorials. So I'm just going to say next. And these are more plugins that I could use, and I still don't want any of them, so I'm just going to say to start using the IntelliJ IDE. So this is the point where I actually can start using IntelliJ. I can either create a project from scratch or import a project or open a project, and since I don't have one yet created, I'm going to say create a new project. And it's going to ask me what kind of project, and I'm going to say a Java project. So next. And then I'm going to say next again. And here is where I give it my project name. So I'm going to give it the name example. And then finish will finish creating the project for me. Make this full screen. And this is would give me a walkthrough of IntelliJ with some tips, and I'm just gonna close out of it for now. Okay, so this is the base IDE. And I'm gonna show you how to set some preferences that I find to be helpful. So I'm gonna go to IntelliJ IDE preferences. And there's also different preferences. There's appearance, which here I could change the theme to light if I wanted, but I'm going to keep it as Dracula. I could change my window options if I want, but I like default. I can change my font size for presentation mode. So I can also change my toolbar settings here. There's some system settings I could change, file colors, that sort of thing. I'm going to go now to the editor, and I'm going to look. So font is where you could change the font and size for your text editor, make it bigger if you want to, if you have problems seeing things. You can change the line spacing, all of that. So under general, one thing that I like to do is for the editor tabs, I like to change it to where the tab limit is something like 25 instead of 10. And then I like to close the non-modified files first whenever I've reached over my tab limit. And then I'm going to make it to where I unclick show tabs in a single row. So now they will stack as more of them get built up as I open more files and more tabs. And I think that makes it easier to deal with multiple tabs being open. And those are the basic things. So I'm going to hit apply and then OK. So now this is my project, and as you can tell, it's empty. And if I want to create a new Java class, I can click on source and then right click and go to new Java class, and I'm going to give it the name first program and hit OK. And now I just have this default first program. So I hope that was helpful. That's just the basic stuff for IntelliJ.